Real Estate Tailgate 28.
It's time for the Real Estate Tailgate. How you doing, David?
I'm doing wonderful, man. And how are you, Mike?
I am doing fabulous. And we got another very special edition. Seems like every week we have a special edition.
Every edition's a special edition.
That's right, when we're here, right?
You
but no,
got it.
Seriously, it's a special day, right?
It's a very special day. Not only is it just sunny, I mean, it's cold.
It is sunny.
It's cold.
Yeah.
We're in Michigan.
It's April in the D.
Yeah. What date is it?
Oh, what is the date?
It's April 16th. Okay. It's sunny. It's chilly. It's probably only about 40 degrees this morning right now. But what is April 16th, man?
AKA Walter Hooper's birthday.
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks, guys.
Happy birthday, Hooper.
Thanks, guys.
I'm going to spare our audience and not sing.
It's okay. I prefer if you don't.
I will toast you to some liquid death.
Yeah, man.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
brother.
Thank you,
Yes,
guys.
yes.
Bumps.
Yes. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great week and a great year.
Appreciate it, guys. 36.
Well, this is our morning toast. We have an afternoon toast to do later.
Yeah, we
don't
do
we?
as well. So
Yeah, we'll meet up for that later on.
absolutely.
We're going to take Walter up to our local favorite local craft brewery.
Yep, where we have our mugs.
Baffin. Shout out to Baffin.
Shout out Baffin Brewery.
Shout out Baffin Brewery.
We're going to exercise a mug real quick.
That's right. Shout out
Just
to,
one.
Shout out to Joe and Sean.
Yeah. Well, make sure when you're lifting that mug, Mike, that you don't do it with your left hand. Because
Yes.
we don't want to put any strain on
We
that bad
don't want to
shoulder.
hurt that shoulder, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on with that shoulder, man.
Oh, man, I don't know. I got a bad shoulder. I don't want to talk about it. I'm getting old.
Okay. Well.
Thanks, guys. Walter's getting even with me because I turned this show into his birthday. He's like, I'm going to talk about Mitchell's bad shoulder.
No, it's just
The good news is I don't need surgery.
Well, that's good. That's good. No, 36 is it feels good. It's my last era of my mid 30s.
36. I think
according to you.
I think me and David have shoes older than that.
Yeah, man.
36.
But no, I appreciate the love, you guys.
It's Hooper's birthday.
Lucky.
I should have got that bite. It's Hooper's birthday. Oh, Mason. It's Hooper's birthday.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay, you ready for the really big surprise, Walter? Because I did what we were talking about. He's coming in 3, 2. No, I'm just kidding. He had a look on his face.
I kind of did.
You're not on camera today, are you?
I'm not on camera
Yeah,
today.
he had a look on his face. He thought Hooper was really going to walk in there.
I was like, oh,
he was
no.
like, you did it.
Is he really going to make another mascot dream come true?
Making mascot dreams come true.
Yeah, those of you that follow us, you've heard in the past that we've talked about making mascot dreams come true. And some of the local Detroit mascots, Hooper.
Pause, Rory.
Yep, Rory.
Red Wings don't have one, do they?
I don't think
there's
the
no
Wings-
mascot. Is
No,
there?
it's just a regular octopus that you can get.
Yeah.
at the
Oh, yeah,
Seafood
yeah.
Store.
Stanley.
Yeah,
they
I
got
guess-
Stanley, but there's no. That's
Yeah,
You know what I'm
they're
saying.
really. I mean, I guess you could count the
There's
purple,
not a-
the purple octopus.
yeah, but he's not. It's not a person. It's not.
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what I'm saying.
Paws isn't a person. Paws is a tiger.
Hey, no. Pause is
I've known Paws a long time since he was
is a living, breathing mascot.
yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But,
so-
yeah, I know. I don't think the Wings have one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, yeah. Yeah, some of the NHL teams do have mascots,
Yes.
but yeah, the Wings don't.
Yeah.
Anyways, Hooper's busy, man. He's getting ready for the Pistons playoffs. He don't have time to come and buy our little podcast.
Yeah.
He's a busy horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about those Pistons, Professor? You got that Piston swag.
Man,
I'm digging it.
I'm repping the
I'm
Pistons
digging
because what's going on with the Pistons? They made the playoffs officially.
Playoffs. New York Knicks.
Playoffs. Yep, we know who we're playing. We just don't know the schedule because we're finishing up the NBA's finishing up the play-in games. So there was 2 play-in games last night, 2 play-in games, I believe, tonight. and then they'll finalize the schedule. But we know that we're playing the Knicks, and we know that we're going to have a home playoff game. And as a matter of fact, I think we have kind of the schedule. Mm-hmm. I heard that there was
Saturday.
Yeah, I heard that there's a schedule for some of the games.
I know they're playing the first night of the draft next week.
Yeah, I was just going to say because
I heard on the radio this morning driving in that they're talking about, what are you watching? Are you going to watch the draft or the Pistons playoff game?
I heard the same thing. I think that's Thursday. I think that's like a little over a week. So yeah, we've got the draft coming up.
And that would be game 3. They said that's going to be game 3. So
yeah, that'll be here. That'll be the first 2 out in New York.
Trivia time. What's the New York Knicks' full name? Do you know it?
That I do not.
David, you got to know it, right?
The New York Knickerbockers.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, New York Knickerbockers.
Oh, okay. We'll just stick with the Knicks. Oh, too good. Well, yeah, Pistons are flying, man.
Yeah, so giving them some love today. Be giving them some love as much as possible. I'll be rooting for them. I think there's a lot of Pistons fans that are excited because the Pistons have been bad for so long. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
But yeah, looking forward to see what they do. I personally think we can get.
Can we make
I
some
know
noise?
for a fact we can
make some noise.
I think we can make some noise. I know for a fact we can at least win one game in the series. But to be honest, the way this Pistons team is different. Okay, we don't have all day to talk about it, but if you haven't checked out the Pistons, you need to watch at least part of one of their games. They play different. They play different than any of the other teams in the NBA. Because why? Because they play defense. That's what's gotten them where they're at right now. That's why they're winning games. They won games this year as opposed to previous years. They're playing great defense, and they play together. That's what basketball is about.
Yeah, and I think to go off of that too, I think mentioning defense, I think almost in any sport. I mean, we've seen it in football, we've seen it in baseball. Really, like I said, any sport. Offense can win games, but defense wins the championships. Defense is what I think really gets a team to win it all.
Yeah, and I think we had the Final Four and since the last time we taped, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I mean, I know a lot of people weren't excited about it. I don't know if you guys catched any of the games.
I watched it.
Yeah, I watched the games, and
I watched a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. The Final Four.
It was an unexciting final. It was unexciting.
The pairings were unexciting.
The pairings were unexciting for me.
The pairings were unexciting, but man, the games were pretty exciting.
Yeah,
the last few games, but in all honesty, it was because of the defense. I mean, you had comebacks in all 3 games. I think the Final Four and in the final game, they were all comebacks. I mean, the team that won was down in that game.
I was really surprised Duke. Can I say blew it? They did.
But that's because of defense, man. I'm just saying, once again, we don't have all day, but yeah, that's why I just think the Pistons got a chance to make some noise. I hope you're right, man. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. And the Tigers.
And the Tigers are off to a great start.
Man, great start. First place. They did lose last night.
They lost last night,
yeah.
But
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Good pitching performance last night in Milwaukee.
Yeah, for Milwaukee. And overall, we've had good pitching. We've had good pitching overall so far this year. We've actually had great pitching.
A solid foundation.
Yeah, our bats are I mean, our bats have been smoking.
And I love the fact that we can close out games.
Yes.
We can close the games and I don't have to worry about our closing pitcher to allow 5 runs and blow the game.
So far. I mean, it is early in the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Walter. I'm gonna play Walter's card. Pump the brakes. Slow down, guys. It's early. Let's see. It's only April.
I know.
Let's see where we're at when we come end of May, beginning of June. No, I'm rooting for them. I hope they do good.
Yeah,
they are off to a good start, man. They are.
Absolutely.
They're off to a great start, man. I mean, they've won. They lost the first series, right, against the Yankees.
Yeah.
Very first series of the season. But they won. I think they've won every series since then. And if they win today, they'll keep that streak alive, at least a series. Okay? So they lost the first 3 games, and I think they've only lost 3 games after that since then. So, yeah, they're doing really well. The overall team, and the thing about it is, we got a couple of key players from last year that have been out. They're going to be out for a little bit still. So that's real positive to know. Okay, so
yeah, the draft for the NFL
next Thursday.
Yep, got the draft.
Lions are picking number 28 as of right now.
As of right now, yep.
I mean,
what Brad Holmes does some of his magic, and
I mean, what do we want to see being added to the roster?
Defense.
I mean, Mitchell's.
I'm going to go both defensive line and offensive line, both interior. So both in the trenches. I mean, that's what we want to see.
Yeah, you can never go wrong. I do agree, but
there's some good offensive line players that are out there this year. So
yeah, and yeah,
they come along. Don't be surprised if they grab one.
Well, yeah, because we've had an awesome offensive line, but nothing lasts in the NFL.
Injuries, attrition,
age,
getting older. Yeah,
yep, age. So no, that's good. That's real good to know.
And our roster will be healthy by fall.
Yeah,
that'll help.
Well, to start. Yeah, to start. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started about preseason games and everything else. But anyway,
where's that? It's in Green Bay this year. The draft.
Yeah, the draft. Yeah, and it was just here. The last draft last year was here,
right
in the Motor City. So
yes,
yeah, that's not that far away. Yeah, and what a classic, football town,
right,
for the NFL. Yeah. Right, you can't get more classic.
And I'm sure they've saw what we did and probably used that as a footprint.
Everyone saw what we did, man. How could you not? We broke records.
We have the weather. I mean, because they're not. It's going to be Green Bay. I'm sure they saw how we did it. We're not quite as cold as Green Bay, but the weather's always risky in April.
Yeah, it's still this time of year. It's risky weather.
I'm sure they were watching, and
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to once again. I'm gonna be
with the first pick in the number 1 draft.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be tuned in more probably to the Pistons. But I'm definitely
Lions take.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on what's going on with what our Lions do. One pride forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of twist and talk about a couple things that we don't talk about that often in sports. Real quick.
Uh-oh. I'm scared.
Have you guys ever heard of badminton? No, I'm just kidding.
Water polo?
No, golf.
Yeah, the Masters.
The Masters weekend was this past weekend.
Yeah, Rory McIlroy, I think, didn't he win it all?
He did win it all, and one of the beautiful things about him winning is his first name is Rory.
Oh,
which is almost like our Rory, right?
Oh man.
Hey, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, he's not our Rory, but
he's Rory.
But he's Rory. Okay.
Oh man, that's all I can say. You can tell by the reaction of me and Walter, we don't have show prep. Like we ad-libbed this whole show. So that's why we're like,
I didn't prep it. I just thought of that because I wanted to bring him. I wanted to bring up the fact that he did win the Masters. Yeah. And he actually, he's like the 6th person to have a career Grand Slam.
Yes.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. I mean, I actually caught the end of that, the last few holes, whatever. That actually went into a playoff.
Yeah, I missed all that. I heard all about it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. That was good, man.
I was at the Jack White concert. I didn't have time to watch golf.
Oh, hey.
I was watching Jack White shred it.
We'll get
Masonic
to that.
Temple.
Yeah. But no, I just wanted to throw that out there. Kudos to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend at this point. Jack freaking White. Mitchell.
Man, amazing show. Amazing.
At the Masonic, correct?
Wow. Yes.
Who was his opener?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay.
We didn't watch them. We were tailgating.
Hey.
We had a time perfect because my 2 buddies that invited me went the night before, Saturday night. So we kind of knew the times they were going on, so we were there. We actually walked in got to main floor
Yeah.
right as the warm-up band was finished their last song and was cleaning up their,
Oh, wow.
their equipment. I mean, you couldn't have timed it better. It was perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Typically for a big act like that, I typically like to see who they bring with them. To,
yeah, I don't, and it was different than the Saturday. So
Okay.
the
Yeah.
warm-up band was different. I
Yeah.
think Jack usually goes with like local.
that's
Tries to
sweet.
pick a local.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's he puts on one.
Oh man, it was an amazing show. It's up there. I those people that really know me know I go to a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
And man, it's way up there. I don't know where I can rate that one, but it's up there for sure. I'd never seen him before live, so it was a great experience.
Yeah, and he's a native here. He's a native of
Yep.
Detroit. So even though he does live,
He went to the hockey game. He went to the Red Wings game
Yeah.
Monday, their last home game.
yeah,
I saw he was there.
but I am still a little mad and salty that he did. I think he still lives in Nashville though. But oh well, what can you do?
From Southwest Detroit.
Well, I'll let him know how upset you are.
Hey Jack, Walter's upset. Maybe David could get you a mortgage, and I'll find you a nice home here on the lake. And
There you go.
As
Let's bring him back to the motor.
as good night would say, there's the trifecta. The trifecta.
Inside joke there.
We love you, Sam.
Yeah, since you brought up hockey, I do want to give a shout out to the Western Michigan Broncos.
oh, that was an exciting game. I actually caught that. I caught some of that at the end of it.
Yes, they won the national championship for the NCAA.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Western Michigan, first time they went to the Frozen Four and,
Right.
and they
That was a
won.
big deal, man.
That
That
was
was
a
cool.
real big deal here locally. So kudos to them. Wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So I thought nothing was going on, but really there is.
There's a
There is
lot.
something.
Yeah,
There's a
like I
lot
said,
going on,
just a couple things bullet points that I wanted to just bring up. It's just like I said, I think we would all agree that we're huge football fans,
Yes.
NFL fans. So it's the off season, but there's a lot of other stuff going on in local Metro Detroit and Michigan sports teams have been jamming this past year. Everything from even Michigan State. I guess I talked about the Final Four. They didn't make it to the Final Four, but Michigan State. Tom Izzo took his team pretty far this year. So kudos to him. Yeah, a lot of teams doing really well. So what's going on in the real estate world, Mike?
Same old crazy springtime, low inventory. I've been super busy. How about you? A lot of running a lot of multiple offer situations, of course. So it's wild west out there.
Yeah, I was going to say it's heating up a lot quicker than the weather is here in Michigan for sure.
We had some nice days. I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, and I think
Sunday it was like 70, and then yesterday it was like 35 and snowing. So I don't know.
Yeah, we're used to that.
Yeah.
Those of us that have been here in Michigan for a while.
Wait a minute. You don't like the weather? Wait a minute. It'll change.
Exactly.
So, but you wanted to talk about some mortgages and some product, right?
Yeah, I just couple questions came up over the past week. So
From consumers, clients?
from clients and realtors.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that were asking for potential clients. So I thought I'd touch on that because we are in the selling season. Like we said, things are starting to heat up. And I just want to make sure that anyone that's thinking about buying a home or, someone in their family, someone they know is thinking about buying a home, and maybe helping them do research or whatever, that they understand that, there's not just 3 or 4 different types of loans you can get to buy a house. If you're looking to get a mortgage, you have your traditional mortgages, which would be your conventional mortgages. Yeah. FHA. VA. Exactly. You just
Those are the big 3, right?
Yeah. Those are the big 3. There's one a little bit lesser known, which is rural development.
Right.
Okay. But those are all your standard loans, type of loans that you get, mortgage loans. There's another type of mortgage loan or category that is non-traditional. In the industry, we call it non-QM.
Non-QM.
Non-qualified mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the details of the difference, but
I always like to try and figure out your acronyms.
well, I want to bring it up because people need to be aware that it's a very, very popular category choice. Okay, you don't hear probably as much about it as a consumer, but in the industry, there's been growth. And I just want to touch on that because it covers a lot of different types of loans. When I say non-traditional, just to give an example, all the loans that we mentioned just a few minutes ago, usually you're going to go through the same process. Okay, what I mean by that is, if you're applying for a loan, you're going to have to supply pay stubs and W-2s or income information. Yeah, in some cases, tax returns. Bank statements. I mean, with technology nowadays, you might not have to physically do it, but it's going to be checked. Okay, we're going to check. Okay, we're going to check with your employer. Okay, and see, that you're working there and that you're getting paid what you say you're getting paid, basically. Okay,
right.
Now there's some different flavors of that a little bit. You have someone that might be paid hourly, but then you might have someone that's paid on commission or someone that's tipped. But basically, we're going to verify that income, okay? With a non-QM mortgage, we are looking at things in a different way. And what I mean by that is, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I had a couple questions. The first question that came up was, hey, David, do you have such a thing as a no-doc loan? Now, you've been around for a while, Mike.
Yep.
You remember the no-doc loan?
Yeah.
Yeah, from years ago. So no-doc is short for no documentation.
Or we used to call them stated.
Well, right? That was a different type of
stated income.
Stated was a type of a no-doc loan. In other words, basically, no-doc was basically no documentation at all. That was a pure no-doc loan, okay? You were basically graded like on your credit, and if you had money for a larger down payment maybe, you didn't have to supply the documentation. So that was a loan that in a lot of cases might have been popular back then for someone that was maybe self-employed, business owner or something like that.
Work on tips.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't have to go, jump through the hoops.
Real estate agents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so the question came up because this came from actually a realtor that I know that's been around for a long time, and they want to know, do you have like a no-doc loan? And I'm like, well, we don't have a quote unquote no-doc loan, but we have a lot of loans that are real close to that. Okay. And those are your non-QM loans. So an example would be like a bank statement loan. Okay. Some people might call it like a cash flow loan, but we would look at bank statements, a history of bank statements. If you have a business or whatever and you have money going into a bank account, and it could be a business bank account or a personal bank account, then there's a formula that we use where we look at a history, like going back 12 months or going back 24 months of your bank statements, and we look at the money that's run through your bank. Okay. So, and then we use a formula where we, maybe account for something. Like if you're a business owner, we account for, expenses, and we come up with an income. Okay. Now, without going into details, but that's basically how it works. So you're not showing your tax returns, your business tax returns.
Oh, gotcha.
We're not going to verify your business tax returns. We're not, concentrating on your true income. We're basically looking at your gross funds, your gross sales, whatever, money that's being run through your bank.
Right.
Okay. Now, once again, there are some variations of that. I'm not going to get into all the details, but the point is that, that is something where we do have some documentation, but it's not your normal documentation. Okay. And in some cases, it's not like you have to be in business for 20 years to get a loan like this. I mean, there's some cases, we have some avenues where, like I said, we can go back 12 months. So if for a new business owner that has the cash coming in, it might be a way to help them qualify for a loan instead of waiting to be established and go through a traditional loan your normal 2 years of history, showing tax returns. When you have a new business, usually the first 2 years are the toughest, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So, and a lot of times you might show a loss. So that's why something like this is popular. That's one example.
So business owners are showing a loss, not even in their first 2 years, like at any time, they could still possibly get a mortgage because they're looking back a year at the money's coming.
You could have money coming into your business, but at the end of the year, you could still be showing a loss because of your expenses and everything else.
This is great news for business owners, 1099 employees, right?
Yep. I mean, and once again, there's actually a 1099 program. So if you're,
I know things have come a long way from way back when. I remember it was hard to get a real estate agent on a mortgage back in the day, like 20 years ago. When we refinanced a long time ago, we just refinanced. It was in my name and my wife's name originally. We refinanced in her name because I was a real estate agent, so it was just easier. So
yeah.
And then again, then more recently, we refinanced when it was real low, and the 299s and all that.
Yeah.
And I was back on it again because things have changed.
Exactly.
But I remember for a while, it was really hard for real estate agents to get a mortgage.
Well, and that's anyone that was self-employed.
Early
yeah, anyone that was self-employed. But it was because it was just things are looked at differently. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to bring that up. Another example I just mentioned, a 1099. So if let's say you're a contractor and you're getting paid 1099s, we have programs where we can actually just look at the 1099s, because a lot of times if you're a contractor, you get paid, but you're not getting like a paycheck.
Right.
Okay. You get a 1099 at the end of the year.
I know, and as a 1099 person myself, that's how realtors get paid. I know when you apply for credit or a car, there's that. Well, what's your monthly income? It's hard to answer.
It's hard to answer. Yeah. So
we don't get a paycheck.
Yeah. So we have programs where you could just look at the 1099. Now I'm gonna.
Take averages of them.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I don't want to get into the details, but the point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of programs out there. You don't have to go traditional. Okay. I'm going to mention another one. This is a little bit different. Okay. This is one you don't hear a lot about, but we have several programs that are more asset based. Okay. Once again, I'm not going to get into the details, but there's a couple ways. I mean, if you have a lot of assets, let's say you have huge money in retirement accounts and IRAs and some other assets that you just don't want to disturb. Okay, you don't want to pull money out and buy a house cash.
Right.
Okay. And you may qualify. Now, all these programs that I'm mentioning, a lot of the time, you might have to have a little bit stronger than average credit. Okay, because of the risk that's involved. Sure. But you don't have to have perfect credit in a lot of these programs. Okay. Now, when you get into something like assets, where you're not even showing any income at all, you're just basically showing that you have the money. Okay, then you're going to need even stronger credit. Okay, and you might need a little bit larger down payment.
It's kind of like the collateral, right?
Yeah. And the reason I'm bringing that up.
So what about the service industry, waitresses, bartender? I have a lot of friends in the service industry. So would they fall into one of these non-QMs?
Yes, they could. Like I said, it depends on. I guess the term I would use is how they're set up. Okay.
How they're getting paid.
How they're getting paid and how they're set up. Like I said, some people save better than other people. So if they have stronger savings, let's say they do have savings. Okay. Let's say that they've been a waitress for 5 years, but before then, because I deal with people that make career changes all the time. Okay. Mm-hmm. And, maybe they had a career where they had a job where they plugged a bunch of money into a 401k. That particular person as a borrower might be a little bit stronger than someone that hasn't had the opportunity to save money.
But my question is, so people working on tips, so there's a program for them too.
Well, right? Maybe not specifically for them, but what I'm saying is we look at everything. Okay. So what I'm saying is that people that are collecting tips, yes, there may be a way for them to go non-traditional. Okay. But at the same time, like I said, a lot of these programs that are
every case is different, so everyone's on a case by case.
Yeah, but in general, these non-traditional programs might require a little bit larger down payment, and might require a little bit better than average credit. So with that said, I've had tipped employees come to me, and it's just easier if they have the history of the tips and we can calculate their tipped income. It might be easier to take them FHA.
I was just gonna say they don't have to go non-QM.
They don't have to go. Okay, but I'm saying is in some cases it might be more beneficial. And this leads to the second question that I got over the past week. I actually had someone that is a new investor, okay, that was referred to me, and they're thinking about buying a house cash. Okay, so they have a chunk of cash, thinking about buying a low-end home cash as their first investment property. And they kind of budget, and they're like, I already have money set aside for any improvements I need to do, any rehab I need to do, whatever. But as you know, Mike, there's not a ton of inventory out there.
Nope.
Okay, and a lot. And what this person didn't realize is that some of the low end properties never even make it to market.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's
so many investors that are looking for flips,
exactly,
investment properties, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that market's super tight.
It's super tight, and
I get messaged weekly from different investors. Hey, Mike, you got any deals? You got anything in off market? You got anything? All the time. So it's very cutthroat trying to get it.
Yeah.
And if you're flipping a home, you have to get it at the right price. So if those prices I'm seeing are coming up because there's such a demand, so many people want it, and then so you got to be careful because if you're paying too much for it, and then you're going to rehab it. You got to make money.
It's not worth it.
So, right.
It's not worth it. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's a tough market too. It's a very tough market.
And it's always competitive.
But you're right. You're spot on. Most of the good ones don't make it to the market. So you don't even hear about them.
Yeah.
Right place at right time, right connections, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. There's deals going on, networking and whatnot.
Sometimes it's just right place at the right time. You might just
exactly. So with that said, if you have a limited amount of cash, you're stuck at that budget. So what I explained to her is, why not take that cash and get a mortgage, okay? Because you might not have to use all that cash. You might actually use a portion of that cash as a down payment. We have special programs for investors where we don't look at pay stubs. We don't look at your bank statements. We don't look at really anything.
Cool.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah. The hottest program out there right now is DSCR. Okay. Debt service ratio. We look at.
Okay, I couldn't figure that one out.
Yeah. What we basically do is we're basically looking at the potential rent. And this is most popular for what we call buy and hold for investors. Someone's going to buy it and they're going to turn it into a rental. Okay. So, we're looking at the potential income on that property. And if the income, the simplest way to explain it is if the income is going to be greater than your payment, your monthly payment, you're good to go. If you got the credit and you got the down payment, and the house is worth it,
right?
We're good to go. So, once again, I don't have time for all the details, but there's a lot of alternative programs out there. I want to mention to people that you don't always have to go to a bank or go to a mortgage lender and fill out, do an application and give your pay stubs or your income information. There's other ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat in our industry. And a lot of it is you as a customer getting with a good loan professional and explaining what your goals are and explaining how you live, your income, and
explore all your options.
Yeah. Find out what all the options are. Okay. So
I know a lot of people think flipping is easy. Like they watch HGTV and think I can do that I'm speaking from experience. It's tough. It's a tough business.
Oh yeah.
So,
hey, how we doing on time, Doc?
But it's tough.
We are 42 minutes.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah, not bad.
We got about 3 minutes for Hooper to walk in and we'll get out of here.
Yeah. We saved him for the end.
I guess it's not as funny anymore, right? The joke's old. I still think it's funny.
I still think it's funny too.
Well, I'm gonna get you.
Wait. What about my Rory? What about my Rory thing, man?
Hey.
Crickets. Okay.
No, that was good.
That was funny.
Good.
That was
I liked it.
We were laughing.
I liked it.
So who has the balls if they ever beat Rory McIlroy to ask him, does he know who the Lions Rory is?
I do it.
Yeah, I do it too.
Yeah.
Since I brought up golf again, there's one thing I did forget to bring up that I wasn't aware of, man, and I don't know if it's just me or I'm getting old. Do you guys have any idea how much Rory made for winning the Masters?
Not a
No.
I mean, we know that golfers in some cases get a pretty decent purse.
Big purse, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but here's what blew my mind. Rory won the Masters. He won $4.2 million. Okay? That's okay. That's $4.2 million. Here's what blew my mind. I was looking at the winnings for, I think it was like the top 50 or something like that. But in the top 10, you could be in the Masters, and I think the 10th and 11th, I think there was like a tie for 9th, 10th, and 11th or something like that. You could basically be 10th place, and you could win, well, this year it was $588,000. That's more than $500,000 for being like in 10th or 11th place in the Masters.
Wow.
And if you look like down to like the top 50,
yeah,
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it was like 50 to 60 grand, which is more than some people make in a year. I mean, don't get me wrong. These are the best golfers in the world.
Correct.
But, it was, I think anyone that's ever played the game of golf and liked it thought at one time, wow, it would be great to be like a pro golfer, right? Yeah, it would be.
Yeah,
great
sure
to
would
be. It would be great to be a pro golfer, man. I didn't realize that there was that much money going around for.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I knew there was a lot of money, but that blew my mind. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. I like looking at numbers and stuff like that.
That's so wild.
Yeah, that blew my mind. But
wrap it up and get this birthday celebration going.
Yeah, I was going to say it's almost birthday celebration time. So I wanted to wish Dr. Hooper a happy birthday again on the air or on the taping, and thank him again for everything that he does. He really does a lot for our podcast.
He does. Thank you, Walter.
He's our faithful producer, audio engineer, video engineer, editor, encourager. The only thing he really can't do is fix Mike's shoulder.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does it all, man. So we appreciate and love you, bro.
Nah, appreciate and love you guys too. I always am very grateful to you guys for trusting me with your podcast production needs. And
we really love and appreciate anyone that listens to our podcast, watches our podcast, because they can watch us because
follow, rate.
Yeah.
Appreciate all you.
Yeah, because we're taped. We're usually taped video wise, and you can watch us on Spotify or YouTube. And like and share.
Shout out to the Knot in Grosse Pointe Park.
Yeah, that's usually where we tape. We love the Knot. Hey, if you are looking for a co-working space for you or your business, especially on the east side, you need to check out the Knot. Okay, that's NOTT. Check them out. Beautiful, and great space that is very high tech. So if you check it out, I think you'd appreciate that.
Amen.
Other than that, I think that's about it. That's all I have.
That's all I got.
Until next time, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
And go Pistons.
Peace.